everyone, welcome back to Odd City Architecture CAD tutorial, and this is the second video in this tutorial series when we are looking at how to create a flower-like organic building using Revit architecture, basically using massing in Revit. So if you've not already seen the first video of this tutorial series, please head to my channel to watch that first video, because we are only just continuing from where we stopped in that particular video. So in that video we created this component as seen on this screen, and in this video we'll be looking at how to create the roof and some other details in this particular building. So let's begin. So let's create the roof around those two major elements at the center, because it's not totally covering the space. So we're creating roof at our first floor level. If you go to first floor level, this is what you'll be seeing. Okay, before we continue, since we are going to be working on this plane directly, we want to ensure that the view it will give us is at that first floor level exactly. So set the view range, go to your view range, and make sure all the offset and everything and the point of cutting is at 0. Everything set to 0.0. The reason for this is to ensure that what you will be seeing is not at an offset. You know, we are working with curvilinear elements, so since it's curving now, once it's once the view is at an offset, the lines may not be exactly at the point where it is, you know, the plane is cutting my mass. So you can see where we'll be creating the roof on. You see this outer space, because this line I'm touching now is the base of the upper element. So I'll be creating a roof on this edge here. They are going to be similar, so I will create one and then mirror it, copy it around. So what you will need to do is still use the same approach we use in creating the profile itself, and ensure it's at first floor, and then you pick those points as shown on the screen. Just follow what I'm doing on the screen. I'm assuming you must have created all those lines that I created too on this page. If you've not done that, you can do it before you start doing this. All I'm just doing is to create an arc along this line where my plane cut the object. Then I'll create another line at this point, then along and at this point, then I'll place it here. And then I'll be creating one here, another arc connecting this point, and I'll drop it at a certain point, not up to that. Do not worry about the accuracy. The major thing I'm trying to do here is just to cover those outer points. You may not even do this if you don't want to. You can decide to create another roof for yourself. It's possible. So you can see what we've created. We created the modeling line here, and here. I'm viewing this now. This is at the first the upper level, slightly higher than the first floor. So the reason why I'm doing this is to be able to view the lines. That's why I went to the upper floor. So I'll set the plane of that middle line to R1. Remember that reference plane we created, which is slightly above first floor level. Then OK. So the middle line, or the middle arc, is higher than the arc on the edges. This is to give the roof that I'm trying to create there a slope. Okay, so I'll go to massing, in place, then peak line, using the peak line, ensures at first floor level, and then pick those two lines on the first floor, those two, yeah, and that one, and go to R1 and pick that, and escape. Then select those profile line you just created, and then try to create a solid form. Wow, seems we are having an issue here. Our profile has failed to create the object that we want, and we may need to do something else. So we'll just create it bit by bit. Create it bit by bit. Yeah, just like I'm doing. So you can see this outer one, pick the outer arc and the center and create, then pick the other outer line and the center and create. It will still give you you can see how the roof is curving from that point to the top, and then curving down on the edges. It's almost like it's wrapping itself too around the inner object, the inner profile, the inner component we created there. So that is where the object is, and we'll be trying to mirror it around. Ensure you select it, ensure it's selected before you try to mirror. Go to that, yeah, that is the object I've created, and then go to any of the levels, preferably the level with the detail guide, and mirror it around. Beautiful. So you can see what we just did. You can see it's not covered at that point. Look at it. It's not covered at that point. It's not covered at that point. So there's no void in between the outer four components of this building and the inner two larger components. You can always edit. So we can always edit and bring the objects to meet each other, so that there may not be space. That is the roof now. I'll click on it, edit it, and then edit profile, drag it, okay, and then edit the top profile. Okay, select the other side, yeah, select this other side, and then edit the profile there. Yeah, you can see now. You will drag it here. Okay, so you can see it's closing. So you can do the same thing around if you want to. You can do it around if you want to. So basically we have the roof now on those edges, and it's looking okay. So next we'll be trying to create the covering for the middle of this yeah, these are the outer roof. Try to create the middle now for the, so that is where the roof are. Now the next is to create the roof on this point, the middle point. So we'll be creating something like a dome there and a skylight. So remember, you always set the, once you go to that upper level PL on my own page, ensure you set the view range, or yeah, the view range to 0, 0, 0 across board, so that you can see exactly where the plane cut my object. And so when I'm working on that plane and following the lines, it will automatically be on that point, and not maybe intersecting or shooting out from the object, since I'm working with a curvilinear model. So I'll draw a line like that, a guide. These are guidelines, remember, detail line, DL, enter. And then I'll draw a circle at the middle. I'm trying to create a skylight at this point. Yeah, so I'll draw a circle to represent that skylight. Let's say with a radius of 100. Okay, so this is how big my skylight will be. And then around it, I'll just have a dome, a rising kind of a dome like a roof structure. So then I'll go to wireframe so that I can see it. I'll be working with the edge of this bigger element. Yeah, so extend it so that we can have a reference point for our roof. Yeah, so after that, I'll go to architecture and create modeling lines. Remember, we're working with arc. This object is made up of curvilinear elements, so there's really no straight line on this so ensure, yeah, place it there. And then we create this one and place it here. So you go to a 3D view, the general view, you look at it, look at the lines we just created, those two here, and the outer point. So it will be rising from that point to over the center. We'll create a reference plane at this point. We will label it, you can label it anything you want. Bottom, dome, bottom, DB, because that's where my dome or the skylight dome will start from. So I'll move that smaller arc to that reference plane I created. So I basically created the profile for one edge of the roof, so I'll go to massing and pick them, pick it, and then DB, and after you pick that, go to the profile I'm created, DB, and then we've selected our element, so you can create the object now. Create a form, solid form. So this is what we just did. See, this is half of the roof, and it's touching the edge of our can always edit later on, but I think what you just created is okay for now. Once you're done, you finish it, and then you go to the site, you can see, and you can always use the center to mirror. Ensure it's selected before you try to mirror, or it will not work. Okay, select it and then mirror using the center. Okay, so we have part of our roof. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. So now at that point, the top of this will be creating that skylight dome. So we just pick the lines. Yeah, DV line, and then we'll select it and try to create a dome directly. Let's see if it will work. We are having an error here. You see, the two lines are intersecting. Let's see if we can modify and let's see if we can modify a little. Will it work if we modify? Let's see. Okay, let's try again. Okay, it's still the same issue, so we'll cancel it and delete those lines we created earlier. Delete it and then go to the upper level, yeah, and then create remember a circle of 2100 millimeters. So then go to the general view. So it's slightly lower than the reference plane area, so we'll move it there, move it to that set plane, put it at yeah. So and then we can create now. We'll make it a full sphere and then edit the angle to just 180. 180. Seems like our dome had to create it downward instead of upward. Can we flip it? Seems like it's not going to work. I also set it to 180 and try to maybe rotate it. So we'll try to rotate it. So let's finish it first and then try to rotate. That didn't work, so let's go to an elevation and we rotate it here and here. So we just rotate it by 180. And you can always save your work. So select it again, go to I think if we try to edit it, it will work. I don't think anything will work. We'll need to rotate it. Because the way we created the sphere, if we remove half, is the upper half that is going to be removed. So you can see the upper half that will be removed instead of the bottom. So we have to try and rotate it. So yeah, so once you rotated it, you can now move it to our reference plane. Select it, and then remove constraint, so move it to the required reference plane. It's dB, yeah, this point. So you can see the roof and the skylight. So this is how it looks like. This is it. This is it. This is how your building should look like. Okay, so basically we've created the major elements in this building, and the next we'll just be adding some details and then rendering. You can see the elevation. We'll just add some few details to this building, then we'll render it. Basically you've seen how to create this element, the curvilinear element, and the building itself. So next we'll be creating some details. We'll be creating some openings and some other elements. So we'll be creating this particular detail here, and interconnecting curvilinear object, connecting these 4 components at the bottom. So if you look at it, you see I've already created a profile, created this profile out of record. So but I'm going to show you the dimension, and so you can impute that. So you see this particular circle is at the level 1, so you can head there to create yours. And the next, so you can see the radius, the next circle is at ground floor level, and you can see the radius here, so you can also do that. And the next circle is at midway. Remember that reference plane we created in between the ground floor level and the first floor, so create that. And the next is at the first floor level, so that is the radius. And the next one is at reference plane 1, arrow 1. Remember the reference plane. And there are some another profile there that is also at that reference plane, and then another profile created on a slanted plane. So you can go ahead and create that if you've not already done that, or if you want to create this similar element. So you can see the slanted angle plane. So basically we are still using the same principle we used to create the other components. So you create a slanted plane at that angle 45 degrees, and you place a profile line on it. So once you've created those lines, then you can use them to create this particular object we're about to create in this at this point in time. So you can see the various levels and yeah, various heights. So if you've not already created those, please do. There's the reference plane number 1. And okay, so since we've already created all those profiles, we'll be going to our massing. Remember, we're using the massing to create our object. So you go to the in-place mass and close, okay, and you select the peak line level 1. So we select it. Ensure you select the level before you pick the line on that level. So the next level is the ground floor level, which is at 1200 on my page. So select it and then select the line. That is the line, like the circle, and then do this for the various other profiles. The other profile, you select the level and you select it. Remember, if you are not working on the plane where the line is, you are not going to get the right result. So ensure you select the plane or the level or the reference plane and then select the line. So select the line. So once you select everything, you try to escape or cancel to ensure that you are no longer in the sketch mode. Once you've exited the sketch mode, you can now create your object. So if you look at this profile, you can see that they are aligned at one end and then not at the other, because they are not the same shape. So you select everything and then you create solid form. So you can see it's coming now at the front, but almost straight at the back. Look at it. So okay, I think that is okay, and we'll be trying to create the remaining part of this object. So you go to reference plane 1 and select that arc, and then try to select the slanted reference plane. Remember the reference plane? Yeah. So select it, and once you are done, you cancel twice and create the solid form. So this is what it is. This is how it is. Okay, you can decide to edit a little. I might need to edit the bottom part of this addition. So I'll select it and select the profile, then just extend it a little. You may not do this if you don't want to. Copy the angle and okay. So created that element, and I think it's okay. So I think we can finish it. Basically, this component is where the circulation inside this building will be, and some other fittings. So okay, finish it, and then we'll try to produce it around. This object is going to be located at every point where these four components intersect. So I'll select it, mirror using this guideline, and then mirror it again, and then mirror again. So let's produce around. You can see it. It's just part of the details that will be adding to this building. So I think basically that is all. And what we'll now be trying to do on this building is to create some openings, like the entrance point, the exit, and windows. I'm trying to, so you can see the elements, you can see the different element, curvilinear elements. So I think that is basically it. So in this south view, I'll be trying to create an entrance point, and basically what I'll be doing is create void form that will cut through this solid object using massing tool. And then after that, add more details to my model. So okay, I think we can continue. So before you do that, you go to the lowest level and try to create a reference plane which you'll be using to cut this particular object in order to create the entrance point. So I'll create a reference plane, RP, or you go to architecture and select a reference plane. And you can just type in reference plane, RP, enter. Then you draw. Remember to label the reference plane so that you can work on it. Select it and label it. You can call it whatever you want, just ensure you remember, but for me I'll call it cut 1, since I'm going to be using the reference plane to cut that particular object. So I'll go to the south side view where I will be creating the opening. So I'll create, go to my massing and try to edit this particular mass. Remember, you'll be editing this mass, particular mass which you are trying to create a void form. So you click it and edit it, then you start creating your lines. Create this line, then I'll set 1, 2 around. Just do what I'm doing on the screen, and then create the horizontal, and then offset that horizontal by 1, 2, 1, 2, and then trim it. And then create an arch. I want the opening to have an arch, so I'll create an arch at the top and then close the bottom. So basically I have my profile, and I'm going to use it to create a void form which we cut through the object, this component where my entrance will be. So I'll create the void form and ensure it cuts through, or it passes through the solid form. So you can extend it. You will know when it cuts the object. So you can see the profile of the cut, and that is where my entrance will be. It's more like okay, so I can extend it to ensure that it really cuts through the form. So basically this is going to be our entrance, and you can finish it once you are done. You can always edit, and you can always create the kind of profile that you want. So basically that is how it is, and this is the same techniques we'll be using to create our windows and other fenestration that we want to create on this building, or that you want to create on this building. I'll be creating a similar opening at the back for egress, ingress and egress. So you come in and you go out, and okay, I think that's basically it for the entrance point. You can see the south side elevation and the opening that we just created. So I'll be creating some other opening representing windows around and all that in the later part of this video. So in a bit to add more details to our model. So I think that is it, and I think we'll be ending this part of the tutorial, the part 2 of this tutorial series here, and in the next video we'll be adding more details to this building and applying materials and finishing the model totally. So if you've not already subscribed to my channel, please do so, and you can like this video, and you can also share it. Please let me know what you think of this tutorial in the comment section. You can make suggestions on how to improve subsequent tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.